Hi, I'm Rowan, and today I'm going to show you how to install Unity Engine 6 and hanatools and vrm0 and vrm1. And of course, if you're here, you want to make vrm1 and vrm0 avatars. I'll also show you how to install the VSF extension. That's the VC Face vrm0 extension for doing other things, which we're not going to get into. We're just going to show you how to do it. And the reason why we're just doing how is because if I start talking about why and when and which, this is going to be a very long video. So let's get into how to install these pieces of software. The first thing we need to do is download Unity Hub. To do that, we go to the Unity website and we click on download. Then we click on download for Windows. And we save our file. And once you've downloaded it, we can open it up and run it. And of course, it's going to ask us for the admin password. And license agreements and yada yada. Just click I agree, tell it where to save it, and click install. And from there, we will actually be able to load up Unity Hub. All right, so here we are in Unity Hub. And we are going to start by doing an install. I know we already have a bunch of projects here, but we're going to start as if we don't have anything installed yet. And we're going to tell it to install an editor. And we're going to use Unity version 6.2 because that happens to be the newest one. And look, we already have it installed. We could click on install there. What we're going to do is we're going to say that you need to install certain basic things. The Universal Windows Platform, and then any languages that you want to have, and then click on install. This is identical for version 6.2, which is what we're going to switch over to now that we've actually started the process. So while this is installing, let me tell you a little bit about why we're doing it the way we're doing it. We are going to be installing a project using Unity 6.2, using vrm0 and using hanatool 4, and of course using the VSF avatars extension. The reason why those three are there is that the vrm0 is required to be able to import the version 0 avatars. hanatools 4 is specific to vrm0 avatars, and the .vsf extension allows you to bundle your avatar, which makes it quicker to load in VNyan and I'm sure other applications. And VSF avatars allow you to use the Poyomi shaders. Now, we don't particularly use those ourselves, but that's the reason why we'll be doing one project in Unity 6 with the vrm0. And now we'll also be doing a Unity 6 project with vrm1, and that will be using hanatools 5. And that will also be using the vrm1 extension. We will not be loading the VSF avatar extension because that only works with vrm0. Now, we're also keeping them separate because hanatools version 4 and hanatools version 5 are mutually exclusive, because when you install one, it overlays on top of the other one, and they don't work well together. And they sort of expect you to use one or the other. And of course, you can install vrm0 and vrm1 in the same project, but then it sort of gets to be a problem because you can't have both hanatools there. So, hence, we keep these two projects separate. Okay, that is clear as mud, I'm pretty sure, but we're pretty close to getting to where, oh, there we are. But basically, in short, you have to have two different projects because of hanatools, and also it helps to not have the VSF extension sitting around in the project you're going to be doing VRM1 with, because then you don't get confused and try to use that. All right, so let's get into actually installing our Unity 2 projects. Yes, we downloaded unity6 just to show you what that would look like. Now we're going to go to projects and we're going to create a new project. In here, you get to pick the Unity organization if you've registered more. See the little register button up there? If you don't have one of these, you're going to want to register before you can do anything. I'm pretty sure, at least that's the way it used to be. So the project name, we're going to call this unity6 vrm0. That's the first one we're going to use. We're going to use the default location for our project. And we're not going to use Unity version control because that's for if you have multiple users who need to coordinate. And I do believe that means you need to store your files somewhere public or in a common space. So before we create a new project, we need to select the specific packages for this. So let's go over to here and click on core. That gets rid of a lot of extra surplus things that you don't need. And now we're going to look at our core items. We do not want to use Universal 3D. We want to use 3D built-in render pipeline. That is specifically going to be what we need for our Uni VRMs. Now, that's pretty much it. That's our package. And now we can go create project. All right, now I'm going to bring this over where you can see it. And it's going to take a little time to load itself up. I'm going to drink some more water. Now, you might have noticed that I had a hitch there. It is actually installing things, and right now we have a lot of things running. And we're just waiting for it to finish. And it's going to take a little more time. Oh, there we go. We just sped up, and here we are in Unity 6. All right, this is going to be our VRM0 version. So the next thing we need to do is install Uni VRM0. Once this is ready, it's doing all of its things. There we go. Now, we have already downloaded all the parts. Uni VRM0, Uni VRM1, hanatools 4, hanatools 5, and of course the .vsf. Now, of all these items here, hanatools 4 and hanatools 5, each will cost you about $10 US. You can get them on Booth, And when you download them, make sure you get the ones that have the English language, unless you speak Japanese and want to read a lot of kanji. So here we go. First things first, we are going to have to bring up a folder with our downloads. So as you see, we have downloads VRM, and we have vrm0 and vrm0, and oh my god, what is that? When you go to the download page, which is going to be on GitHub, there will be a link to download vrm0 and download vrm1, and just put them in separate folders. Uni vrm0, uni vrm1. You can see those right there, as opposed to if you just download them and you get vrm0.version, then vrm0.version, and there's no real difference. So we're going to go into uni vrm0, and we're going to install the package by double clicking on it. Now it's going to ask us which version that we want to use. Well, let's see. unity6 we don't really want to do that. 2023. So we downloaded Unity 6.0.055, whatever. We're going to actually download it on the newest one that we've already downloaded it on. So we'll see how that goes. And we're going to say always. And now it's going to take its own sweet time and tell us that it's already there. Or not, because this particular project doesn't have that information in it. So here we are, and we have this nice long laundry list of new stuff, and we're going to verify it's uni vrm0 . Okay, and is there anything in here saying that this is vrm0? Not really, but we're going to import it knowing that we clicked on the right thing. And when it's done, we will get a little window. We'll get a menu item across the top there, and we're not there yet. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you noticed it, but now you can see where the pointer's at. We have a vrm0 item. All right, and now also you can see that in our assets we have a vrm item in here. And it's got a bunch of stuff in there that we don't need to deal with, but you can see there's this thing called mtoon. Those are our shaders. All right. So now we've installed vrm0. We also need to install hanatool, and we need to install the .vsf. So let's do that. Oh, and this down here, this little yellow thing, don't worry about that. That is, there's a note on the GitHub page also saying, with the same little yellow print, by the way, saying that a little module's been updated and it's not necessary anymore, but it's still in the package. So this little alert shows up, even though it's really a redundant piece of software that isn't being used anymore or doesn't need to be. It'll get cleared up sometime in the future here. So let's now go back to our folder, our downloads, and let's go to our VRM, and let's go to hanatools version 4. Very critical. Version 4 is for vrm0, and we're going to open up the folder, and you can see that I have two packages. There's one that's smaller and one that's bigger. We're going to pick the one that's bigger because it has a critical piece of software in it. It has a module in it that if you don't have, it's kind of useless for what we're doing. Now, you can see that there's a bunch of stuff here where I'm going to turn off Perfect Sync Vroid 1.0. These blend shapes are older, and I don't know if they're there for backwards compatibility or what, but with the newer versions of Vroid Studio, if you use these old models, you'll see that there's a problem in one of the blend shapes. When your mouth is open and your tongue is showing, you'll see that there is cracking in the tongue, which you do not want, so turn that off. All right, so coming down and looking at the other stuff here, the critical bit that you actually want to see here is clip build, or clip builder CS. There it is. That's critical. Without that, don't hit import. Go back and load the other one. So we're going to hit import now, and we're going to watch and wait for this to load up. And as you can see, we're done, because again, up there now we have a hanatool item, or I'm sorry, hanatool, and there it is. So now finally we need to get the VSF extension loaded, and this is going to be, once again, rinse, lather, and repeat. Let's go to our downloads folder. The VSF extension is free and it's available on GitHub, and any web search for VSF SDK will get you to there. And let's go up to VRM and VSF SDK. There it is, and double click on it. And here we go. VSF SDK is pretty much straightforward. Just scroll all the way to the bottom and hit import. Now, there is one thing here. Big Buck Bunny. We're going to turn him off because he's going to throw an error because of an encoding problem with the video. It's a sample, it's not even used, but if you load it, you'll get a little red exclamation point saying that one of the module parts is damaged. It doesn't really matter, it doesn't affect anything you do unless you want to use the Big Bug Bunny, and yeah. In any case, we're just waiting for this to finish, and let's see. There we go. Once again, VSF SDK is up there now. So this is all the setup for vrm0. And we will get back to this when we want to make some vrm0 avatars. For now, make sure you save. Go to File and hit Save, just because that'll make sure it saved any changes we made. And now we're going to close this project, and we're going to create a new project in Unity. So let's bring up the Unity hub again, and we're going to create a new project. And this time we are going to be making a project. Wow. We're going to rename this to unity6 vrm1, and we are going to use 6002.0f1. That's our new one, and we're going to scroll down to, again, the 3D built-in render pipeline. We're going to put it in the default location, and we're going to create our project. And let's bring that over so you can see it. It's going to do its thing. And again, I'll probably glitch out because we're using a lot of stuff here. And we're getting there. And we're we're getting there, and we're going to take some more time. I've already explained the reason why we're doing this in 2 separate projects. And it's got to do... Oh, there we go. I glitched out. We're getting there. And we're still getting there. Drink water. Okay, now here we are. We are in the vrm1 project. And let's wait for it to finish doing its thing. We're getting there, very close. Just gotta be patient. I think we're there. Okay, so now we are going to install vrm1 and hanatools 5. So let's go back to our downloads and go to Uni vrm1. Click on new. No, let's click on you, not the name. And then let's install the package. It will load. It just takes some time. There we go. And we're just going to scroll down to the bottom and we're going to click on import. And we're looking up here at the menu bar and we're waiting. Pardon the boomy noise. Okay. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of lag there, and there we go. If you look up, you will see that we have a vrm1 menu now. And now let's download the hanatools, or the hanatools. And again, this menu item is there just like last time. It's saying that there is a change and something's built in now that doesn't need to be in the actual module that we loaded. Not a big deal. Now let's go and get to the folder and let's go up to VRM. Come on. And now let's go to the next piece, which is going to be the hanatool 5. And by the way, make sure you get the English version when you get this on booth. You can get the Japanese and you can get the English version. If you don't want to read a bunch of kanji, then get the English version. Now again, you see that there are 2 files in here. A smaller version and a larger version. We want the bigger one. Let's start that, and again we're going to turn off the Perfect Sync 1.0 blend shapes because those have got problems with the tongue in the open, and well, I think that's what those have, and they're old. They're for older versions of the Vroid Studio. We don't need them, and everything else is pretty much straightforward, so let's click import. And here we go. So now the version 1 has got a vrm1 and a hanatool. Now there's also unigtl, which that's neither here nor there. Now vrm1, there's no import option. Well, that is because Unity will natively import vrm1 files. But the vrm1 here is so that we can actually export vrm1 files. And of course, hanatool is here so that we can do things with the expression builder and for other steps here for doing things like adding the shapes to our face, which we will get into fairly soon. Oh, what are we going to do with all these things? Yeah, so eventually, somewhere in the near future, in the not too distant future, we will be making another video about Unity and how to actually work with all the parts that we just showed you how to install. And at that point, we'll be showing you how to do things with gravity and hair, and how to do things with the hanatools to add all your blend shapes, and how to export things as VSF avatars for version 1, and all those little things that you actually want to do, as opposed to just set it up and look at it and say, ooh, shiny, now what? So I hope you stick around with us and come back to see that video. And until then, I hope you have a great night, great day, great whatever time zone you're in. And I hope to see you again real soon. Bye!